Hello guys, so this is my first video on here in about 3 years, apart from shorts. But yeah, I think it was like 3 years ago when I didn't have my daughter that I made a video. So here I am to come on and break that pattern. I just wanted to come on and talk about something that went viral on my TikTok, and that was raspberry leaf tea. Me drinking raspberry leaf tea before I gave birth. I didn't have a clue it was going to go viral. I didn't even know it was a thing. But yeah, I just wanted to come on and talk about what actually happened, because a lot of people asked me what happened, how many cups I drank, how often I did it, and I would never know if it was the raspberry leaf tea or I just went into birth really quick. Like, my birth was super quick. Literally, I think in all, from getting to the hospital, I gave birth within 20 minutes. It was very close. So I'll start off by telling you what happened. So I won't go from the beginning because it'd be a very long story. So I think I got to about 39 weeks and 6 days, and the midwives and the hospital, I think it was the midwives at the time, were saying that when you get to 40 weeks, they want to start looking like inducing you. And I was really not keen on this. One, you know, I wanted to try and do the whole natural birth thing with no what's the word? No one interrupting my birth or whatever. And yeah, also I heard being induced was really painful. So I was like, hell no. Yeah, I don't want that to happen. So throughout my whole pregnancy, I'd worked out, I was a personal trainer. So I still am a personal trainer, but yeah, I'd worked out throughout the whole pregnancy, was really active, and yeah, so I don't know if that played a part in it. But so I got to 39 weeks, 6 days, and I was a bit worried. So then another girl from my group told me about raspberry leaf tea and that she drank it. So I was like to my partner, okay, there's this raspberry leaf tea, I'm gonna go and buy some. So I went and brought raspberry leaf tea from the shop, went round mother-in-law's house, had 1 cup of raspberry leaf tea. But to be honest, a few days before this, and on the Friday, the nurse had said, the midwife, sorry, had says I was 4 centimetres dilated. So I'd got to 4 centimetres without kind of like realising. And a day before, I was putting plants in the garden and stuff, and I felt a few twinges in my stomach, but because it was my first baby, I did not know what I was meant to be feeling. I don't know if I was in like early labour or something or what, but like I was getting hot and like had to stop, take a few deep breaths kind of thing. So that was the day before. Anyway, the day after, I drank 1 cup of the raspberry leaf tea, and yeah, I started having, you know, a few pains at his mum's house. Not nothing major, just like you know, twinging, nothing like, oh, I'm in labour. Well, at the time, I don't know if I was in labour, I don't know if I wasn't in labour, who knows. But anyway, went home and yeah, went to sleep. The next morning, I woke up at around 6 o'clock, it was, in the morning, and at 6 o'clock, literally dead on, my waters burst. And yeah, that was like the weirdest feeling. Waters burst on the bed. I was like, oh my god, my waters have burst. What we're gonna do, kind of thing. Well, let's just follow the steps of what we've been taught in class. So I got my contraction timer out, started like timing my contractions, and it was okay to be. I thought, okay, let me get a shower. I want to look good for the birth, so let me wash my hair, try and straighten it and stuff. So I got in the shower, and then I thought, oh my god, okay, contraction, logged it. And then I think I had about 30 seconds rest, and then there was another contraction. I was like, oh, okay. Long story cut short, these contractions were very close together. I've even still got the screenshot of the contractions of how close they were, and they were very like full on, and like I was thinking, oh, these are very painful. And I was just trying to stay calm. I was thinking, if this is it now, how am I gonna get through the whole birth kind of thing? So I've called my mum, I said, Mum, you've got to come quick. Like, we're going to hospital now. And I felt like really kind of angry because it was so painful. Then my mum's come round. I was on the toilet, literally at this point, like The Exorcist. And my mum and my partner were just like looking at me. It got to the point where these contractions got so bad. I phoned up, back up the triage and said, I'm coming in now. They said, oh, well, you might get sent home. I said, I can't kind of bear this feeling. She said, you might get sent home because it's, basically thinking I was being dramatic. I said, okay, yeah, whatever. I'm coming in. But at this point, I couldn't actually walk down the stairs. So it took me probably about 10 minutes just to get down the stairs. I was on the toilet and I just felt like I needed to push. I was like, okay. And at that point, I started thinking, this pain is like, I thought I was going to die. That's how painful it was. I could feel like, I just thought I cannot cope anymore. But something just kicked in with me and I just managed to get myself in the car. I said to my partner, just put your foot down and just go. I was so snappy at everyone. I was like, oh, like The Exorcist. My hair was still wet. I hadn't got time to dry it. By the time we got to the hospital, it was 10 to 9. So you can imagine from 6 o'clock, that's how like quick it all kind of went. 10 to 9, I got to the hospital. My partner left me in the wheelchair outside the hospital and said, I'm going to have to park the car. So I'm left in the wheelchair, I'm waiting for him. Obviously he just thinks I'm in normal labour, so do I. And then I'm in this chair, I can't really see anything around me because it's that painful, when you go into like another dimension. Then this doctor comes out and he says, are you okay? I couldn't talk. I said, take me to triage. So he's took me to triage. My partner has come back. I'm gone from the wheelchair outside the hospital. He's whizzed me down. I've gone into some side room. Him and my mum are like in the corridors. I can hear them shouting, Libby, Libby. They found me in the room where I'm with the nurse, and the nurse is like, okay, can we check you? At this point, I'm doing labour breathing. I'm like, that kind of deep breathing. She said, I just need to check you. It took me so long to like even move over. She checked me. She said, oh my God, you're 10 centimetres dilated. That's when I was still in my dress. They rushed me down to theatre. Not theatre, sorry. Is it a theatre? No, it's a room, just another room to give birth. I wanted water birth, so I'm going to them. Water birth. At this point in my head, it hasn't registered to me that this baby is coming, and I'm like, I want a water birth. Like, had this plan in my head. I'm going water birth. They start filling the bath up. I think they fully knew that I wasn't going to have a water birth. I think they just did it just to shut me up. I've managed to get onto this bed, and then before we know it, my dress was still on, and she's like looking to check if the head's not coming out or what. And yeah, she says, just start pushing. So I have just literally turned onto all fours, held onto the back of the bed, and I have started pushing. And I was just gripped onto the back of the bed. I think I'd got to a point where she offered me gas and air. I just was so gripped and in this zone of dealing with the pain that no, I was like, no, don't touch me. No. I was even holding someone's hand, which I thought was my partner's. It was the nurse's hand, not my partner's. So the whole time I thought this is my partner's hand, and it wasn't. And yeah, I started basically pushing, and by 10 past, so from arriving to the hospital at 10 to 9, it hit 10 past 9 and she was out that quick. So you can imagine if I would have stayed 20 more minutes at home, she would have been born at home probably. And yeah, that is the story of raspberry leaf tea. So I literally drank 1 cup of raspberry leaf tea. I don't know if it was the raspberry leaf tea. I don't know if I was in slow labour. a few days before or what, or I don't know if it was because I was like really active working out that she just came out quick. I'm not too sure what it was, but that is what happened with the raspberry leaf tea. I don't know if I would take it again because if it was, I don't know if it was just a little bit too quick and it just felt very intense, the whole thing. But yeah, that is any questions that I can answer about raspberry leaf tea. That was it. I literally drank 1 cup, and it was called, I think it was called Heather, Heath and Heather? Is it Heath and Heather? I literally got it from Tesco. And yeah, that was it. My little girl was born. She did get rushed off down to theatre and taken away kind of thing because she had some blockage. I think like mucousy blockage when she came out. So yeah, that is the birth story, guys. I hope this helped you on the raspberry leaf tea situation. Yeah, my first video, there you go. See you all soon. Hope you enjoyed.